This is Apple's MacBook Neo, and not only is it Apple's most affordable MacBook ever made, but I'm just going to come out right and say it. I think it's the Mac that 90+% of people should just go right ahead and buy if they're in the market for a laptop in this price point. I bought the MacBook Neo, very base model, with my own money, and I got it on the public release date. So I've been using it as of the time of this recording for a week. And I've got a lot of thoughts because I'm coming from a high-spec MacBook Air, and I've been using M series chips on Macs for years and years now. So how does the Neo stack up against it? Is it worth the price? Is it well built? Is it an overall good computer? Let me tell you my thoughts. So first, the headline with the Neo is the price point. In the US, it's $599, and up here in Canada, the base model is $799. Now, as I said, I bought the base model version of the Neo because honestly, I think this is the one that most people are going to be attracted to purely because of that price point. And while Apple had to obviously make some trade-offs to hit that $599, $799 Canadian price point, I'm going to tell you that for the people that this laptop's actually designed for, I don't think it's going to impact your decision or your experience with it whatsoever. So the Neo comes in 4 pretty unique colors, especially for a MacBook in this day and age. Silver, blush, which is kind of like a pinky color, citrus, which is kind of like a yellow, off yellow color, and then the one I've got here, which is the indigo, which is kind of like a blue. All of the keyboards on the Neos are slightly tinted to kind of match the color palette of the laptop itself. But I will say, and other people have pointed this out, that the press photos make these keyboards look way more tinted than they really are. They're basically just off-white. And as I said, that base configuration, the one I bought, has a 256 gigabyte SSD and no Touch ID on the keyboard. You can get Touch ID and a bump to 512 gigs of SSD storage for an additional $200 here in Canada, and I believe an additional $100 in the US. If you purchase that one, you're at $1,000. So again, the model I got here, the $799 Canadian one, this is the one I think most people are going to buy because at $1,000, you have a lot more option for what you can buy and purchase and choose from in the market than at $799. And the display on the Neo, even though it is about half the price of a base model MacBook Air, is every bit as good as a MacBook Air. Apple didn't compromise on display tech. The only thing missing is a notch cut out for the FaceTime camera. But honestly, even though it's got a bit of a chunkier bezel, it's not a deal breaker. It still has that great camera. The resolution on it is toned back a little bit from what you get on the Air and other MacBook models, but it's still here. You can still do FaceTime calls, no problem at all. You can still use photo booth to take selfies, whatever you want to do. It's got 500 nits of peak brightness. Again, identical to the MacBook Air, so use in most situations is going to be perfectly fine. It's not going to be the greatest for outdoor use, but again, if you're a student or a writer, someone who's working in an office or a cafe, you're not going to experience any issues with a 500 nit brightness display. It's liquid retina, very high resolution. It looks good. Now, the area where Apple did compromise was in the compute power of the Neo, because unlike the Air and other MacBooks, it's not running an M series chip. It's running the A18 Pro chip, which powered last year's iPhone 16 line. But for the stuff it's designed to do, you're not going to notice any delays or lag time or bog downs. It's a very capable chip. The only physical limit really is that regardless of which model you go for, the higher end SSD with Touch ID or the base model with 256 gigs of storage, both only have 8 gigabytes of RAM. But in my week of use, the Neo is by no means handicapped. With the Neo, I was able to breeze through web browsing, emails, some documents and pages and numbers, and I even edited a 4K video in full in Final Cut Pro. It can run Final Cut Pro super well. I haven't tested other more intensive apps like Lightroom or Photoshop on here, but I've seen numerous other videos of reviewers running those apps on their Neos with absolutely no problems whatsoever. This laptop is extremely capable. And while some people might be saying, well, 256 gigs of storage is pretty small, considering how big the operating system and apps are these days, you're not wrong. However, think about the target audience, right? People who are maybe casual photo editors, or writers, or students. Students are not really juggling hundreds of gigabytes of files. They're not doing intensive creative workloads, nothing that you would require a higher end device. And honestly, if that's what you are looking to do, you probably aren't looking at a Neo anyway. For example, for me, after a week of use, installing a bunch of my regularly used apps, again, outside of maybe the Adobe Creative Suite, those are pretty big apps, not gonna lie. I've got about 180 gigs of storage left on my MacBook Neo. And again, I'm pushing it to the limit for this purpose of this review. So somebody in the average target market's probably not going to be running Final Cut Pro like I am on a MacBook Neo. They're probably going to be using iMovie, which is built right in, working with smaller files, maybe doing a lot of 1080p work, that sort of thing. Now, a couple other spots where Apple had to make some sacrifices or compromises on the Neo. One, the keyboard does not have a backlight. Well, for day-to-day normal use, I didn't find it to be an issue. Occasionally, when I was using it in the evening, it was a bit of a letdown not having the backlit keys. Maybe I've just been spoiled and so used to it because every other MacBook I've owned for God knows how long now has had a backlit keyboard, but the keys themselves feel great. They are every bit as good to type on as an Air or any other MacBook. It's just missing that backlight. And similarly, the trackpad on the Neo is the multi-touch style from many, many generations past of MacBooks, not the new Force Touch sort of haptic version. But again, if this is your first MacBook or you're using really any other laptop and coming to the Neo, this is going to be a massive upgrade for you. And I have absolutely no issue with the multi-touch trackpad. It's still just as good as a modern trackpad from any other MacBook. You're just missing a couple of other niceties like some multi-touch gesture shortcuts and stuff like that. And really the only other noteworthy difference between this Neo and the MacBook Air is the speaker setup. So the speakers on the Neo are side facing, but I don't find that they sound all that bad. Let me give you a little audio sample here. So then, just like I said at the start of the video, the MacBook Neo, super capable, more than acceptable speakers, and honestly, most students or people that are going to buy this are going to have AirPods anyway. Incredible display, no compromises on it whatsoever, aside from slightly chunkier bezels maybe. Very capable FaceTime camera, excellent keyboard, same keyboard as on any other Mac. More than capable trackpad, 2 USB-C ports on the side. No MagSafe, but honestly, not the end of the world either. And battery life, absolutely incredible. I think I ran this one day for about 9 hours, and other than when I was doing some Final Cut work and installing all of my apps, obviously that bogged down the processor and the battery quite a bit. 8-9 hours is kind of what I've gotten on a typical day of use with the Neo, and Apple's rating it for 10-11 hours of usage. Compared to the Air, which in my experience was always kind of a battery king, the Neo is every bit as good. The Neo is super well built. It's not a unibody like the Air, but that actually makes it more repairable, which is kind of a win too. This is the perfect device for somebody like my mom. She currently has an Intel Series MacBook Air, and I think the Neo might be going to my mom because this is way better than what she's using now, way faster, way better battery life, and can run everything that she needs without any issues. And again, it's half the price, $799, and I think people are going to buy and gobble up the Neo and love the Neo, honestly, in droves. I think it's going to be Apple's best-selling laptop before you know it. But as always, what do you guys think of the MacBook Neo? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you have one or do you want one? Let's have a conversation down in the comments and discuss. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again soon in the next video.